Hey guys, my name is Amber Dawn. This is my first YouTube video, just bitching and moaning and ranting. And instead of telling you about myself, I'm gonna talk about Batman. And most likely no one will ever see this video. But if you ever do, if you ever sit there and listen to me talk, um, then Batman won't be the only thing I talk about. I probably will upload more videos because I actually am finding that I enjoy this talking thing. Uh, it just feels like someone's listening, I guess. Like, maybe that's why a lot of people start this. I don't know. I feel like a lot of them do it to get famous. No idea. Um, but right now I'm going to talk about Batman. And I'm not going to talk about Adam West. I'm not going to talk about the old comics. I'm not going to talk about Hush in specifics for reasons that will remain with me. Um, Hell, I'm not even going to talk about the animated series, which I absolutely adored. Uh, what I'm going to talk about is the Arkham games, and I'm going to give you a run-through of them in my perspective when playing them, which I loved them. I did. But, yeah. So, you start off in Arkham Asylum. It's the first of 3 games. And you're like, oh, cool, Arkham Asylum. Looks kind of pretty. And you're following Joker, and you can't do anything except for, like, run around in circles, which the cape animation thing looks really fucking cool. Looks really good. Um, and so I sat there for, like, 15 minutes just running in circles. I was like, oh, look at this cape. And my family was like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm not running in circles. So I did that. But really, you're supposed to be following the Joker as he's talking. He's like, ha ha ha, bats, ha ha ha. And he laughs a lot. He does. He's pretty amazing. And you're like, Mark Hamill, what? He's like, ha ha ha. And then you get to this area, and next thing you know, you're fighting people. And it's like, mash X to win. And you're like, well, that's on Xbox. I played it on Xbox. I guess that's Square on PlayStation. It doesn't matter. So he's like, mash said button to win. And you're like, and it's like, oh, you can counter, by the way. Why? So there's like these little things above their heads. It's dumb. I turned off screen cues. I was like, I'm gonna do this all by myself, and I sucked at first because I was playing on hard. But so that's really how you get through life in that game. You mash buttons, and sometimes you use like explosive gel against bosses when they make it necessary. But other than that, you're just okay. So you go through this game and you're fighting these people and you're like, oh, Ivy, you're looking pretty sexy, and Harley's not shutting the fuck up the whole time. Hey, B-man. And you're like, Harley, you're pretty hot in that nurse's outfit, but I really don't feel like dealing with your voice right now. And she still doesn't shut up, no matter how many times you tell her to. And then Joker's like, hey, bro, got a surprise for you. And you're like, I gotta go apprehend the Joker. And in all honesty, I wasn't interested in apprehending the Joker. I was more interested in whatever the fucking surprise was, because I like surprises. Sometimes. Not really. But I like Joker surprises. Um, so you run, you run, you run, and then he's like, ha ha ha, Titan, and you're like, what the fuck? Because you've been hearing about it, and you've like fought some of them, but it wasn't really working out, and the Joker's all, and he tries to like eat you or something. I don't know. He tries to break you. That's for sure. There's a lot of like throwing stuff, and it's cool. Well, in the end, things blow up, and you think you pretty much leave the Joker for dead. Alright, and then you get to Arkham City, which you wait a while for, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be so great, bigger map, more gadgets, and then it's like, it's okay. I mean, yeah. And so you start off, and if you have the Catwoman DLC, you play Catwoman. And she, like, steals stuff. and then you're like in prison, you're going into Arkham City, and Hugo Strange is constantly talking about Protocol 10, and you're Bruce Wayne because you're arrested, and then the Penguin's like, ha ha ha, Mr. Wayne, and then you're not Bruce Wayne. Then you're Batman again, and you fly around, and Two-Face has Catwoman, you're like, shit, so you gotta go save her. There's a lot of stuff going on. You get shot at by the Joker, and you're like, oh, hey Joker, what's up, bro? So you go and you find him, and then you do all this random ass shit. Next thing you know, you're strapped to a chair with a fucking IV in your arm, and you're like, oh, cool, blood transfusion, great. Um, Joker's face is like dying. You're like, oh, Joker, you should probably get some acne medicine because your face looks pretty bad. That's not actually what you said. That wasn't even fucking funny. I don't know. Hey, Cat. And so, he's like, ha ha ha, Batman, I just injected you with my blood. So now you're dying too. Batman's like, fuck. Gotta go find a cure. So he goes off and he's gotta fight Ra's al Ghul, and he's gotta fight this, and then you gotta blow up containers of Titan, cause Bane's like, no, no one else can have my power. And you're like, alright, Bane. Even though you don't like Bane. So you go off, because it's for the better of humanity, and you blow up all his containers, and then, I don't know, that's like a side thing. You don't even have to really fucking do that. But I did it. The whole time the Riddler's telling you how stupid you are, and then Hugo Strange is like, yo, bro, I know who you are, Mr. Wayne. You go to Wonder Tower. Hugo fucking dies. Ra's al Ghul's an asshole. You know, Talia's like, come be with me, Bruce. And you're like, skin-tight outfits. Well, then you don't go be with her. You go do some other shit. And then it's depressing because you're like, I wonder how Joker does all these things. He looks healthy, and then he doesn't look healthy, and then you have to fight fucking Clayface guy. Yeah, it's Clayface. I don't know why I forgot that. I even know who he is. So you fight him, which is pointless, and then you try to give Joker the cure, and then he's like, and then he dies. Joker fucking dies. Okay, that's how Arkham City ends. I cried. He's the best character ever. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you've seen, I don't care how much you adore anything else. Joker is the best psychopathic serial killer ever. He is. And that is the end. The end. He dies. And you're like, and so the game ends. And you can still go around and do, like, Riddler stuff, and, you know, Zsasz is like, I'm gonna kill all these people, I've got one cut for every person I've ever killed. And you're like, shut up, Zsasz, I'm tracing your calls right now while you tell me your life's fucking story. So, that's over. You got nothing better to do with your life. And you wait for Arkham Origins. And this is where it starts. I didn't play any of the side missions in Arkham Origins, but I did play the storyline. Okay? And the best part about that game, again, was the Joker. And maybe I'm biased. Okay? And then, of course, Bane's the final fucking boss fight, pretty much. And it's just bad. So you get there, and you see fire. And first of all, the fire animation is like, bad. So bad. It's not even, you can't even cry, because that's how bad it is. You're like, when they made this game, did they think about No. No. They didn't. They didn't. Okay? And you get, like, useless gadgets. Like, they don't even make sense sometimes. Okay? So, you know, you go in, and Black Mask is like, blah, 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 and he talks a lot. And then you realize he hires all these assassins to kill you. Okay? Well, fuck. So you go and you fight all these assassins, you know, and fucking you fight Slade, and you fight Firefly, and you fight Bane, and you fight all these other people, and some of them are just the stupidest, most repetitive boss fights ever. You're like, ugh, I have to fight another one of these people after I just did the same 4 things 8 billion times to get to them? They always set up these intricate things to kill innocent civilians to lead Batman in, and then you do the things to get them to stop, you know, and then you get to them, and then you're just playing the same 4 scenarios faster. That's all you do. That's all you do to beat them. You know, Firefly was the biggest pain in my ass. He's like throwing shit at me, I'm dodging. And it was fine, I guess. I don't know. And then you get to the Joker, because he's behind it all again. And at least they develop him as like a person and not just some crazy dude with some makeup, you know, like they did in some movies. Or, you know, they really, you know, they go into the Red Hood thing. That was lovely for me. You get to walk around with him, you get to fight a little bit as him. It was pretty great. And then, you know, he says this really cool lines like, baby beat me till your knuckles bleed or something along those lines. I don't know, I haven't played it in like a month. But that was brilliant, you know? And that was the whole game. He goes to jail, sings a little song. I mean, I was sad. It really, the best storyline was Asylum, you know? And then it just kind of went downhill, but I played them. I did. I'm sure a lot of people did. The thing that really caught me was the gadgets. You get gadgets from other people. Like the electrocutioner, you get his shot gloves. You know, in Slade, you get his thing. It's like the line launcher, only it's not. I forget what it's called right now. And it's just, and then you also have useless things like, remember in Arkham City when you get Mr. Freeze's ice grenade thingy? Well, I forget what it's called. In this one you get a glue grenade. You go to the Batcave like 6 times, and every time Alfred's like, "Sir, don't go." And you're like, "Alfred, I have to for my people." And he's just like muttering under his breath about how much of an idiot you are. You know, and then there's just, it's just bad sometimes. So, yeah, you go and you get this glue grenade, and you use it in the water, and glue is usually soluble. I mean, not all the time, but usually. And I'm like, why isn't it disintegrating? And then everyone's like, Amber, shut up, because it's Batman. And I'm like, alright, sorry. But it still didn't make any sense to me. Okay. I love Batman. I loved the games. I've played them all except for Origins. Some of the other two, that sounded really dumb. I played the other two like 3 times through. Okay? And I got 100% on both of them. I did all the side missions. And I believe they could have done better. I really do. You know, as a fan, I don't understand. So, if you randomly stumbled upon this video of me just randomly talking about the 3 Batman games, I'm sorry. It's me sitting here talking. And for a first video, I had a lot of fun bitching. I'll probably do more when I learn about other things. I'm not good with video editing. I'm not, but I'm gonna expand on that one day. For right now, you just get me bitching. So, I'm probably going to upload again tomorrow. Um, Good luck to anyone who sees this. Bye-bye.